Now, to understand how a building stands up, we don't need to use mathematics. Most of the time, the reasons turn out to be just common sense. Besides, we already know a lot about why something stands up. We've got a quite well-developed intuition about these things. For instance, we'd know whether to trust our weight to a plank across a river or a gap between two buildings. We already know, too, how to put up a ladder. We wouldn't put it too far out, nor would we put it flat up against the wall. We put it just where it would feel safe to climb up it. We could even pitch a tent, even if we hadn't done so before. Probably go through quite a bit of trial and error, but eventually we would put it up quite quickly, because it's just basic common sense. Nobody's necessarily told us how to do it, nor have we consciously learnt it. We've just evolved our own intuition about these things, because that's part of what common sense is all about. Well, what I want to do with these programs is to extend that. A very long way, mind you, but just extend our own understanding of structure by building on common sense.
Did you ever have that feeling when you've noticed something for the first time, you discover it showing up everywhere? For instance, you buy a new 4x4 and suddenly everybody else seems to have bought a similar car. Or you buy red shoes and everybody else is wearing them too. Well, there's no conspiracy here at all. They've always been there. You've even seen them before, but you've not been sensitized to looking for them. It's the same thing about knowing something. Once you know something, you can then look at things you've been looking at for years and suddenly see them in an enhanced light, as it were. I'll give you an example right off the top that you can go and look at straight away. That's the post that stop signs and parking signs and other traffic signs are attached to. The signpost, which starts out as a thin, flat piece of metal, is bent and shaped. It is very simply made into a sort of square tube, and that is extremely clever. You see, it has flat parts on which you can attach the sign. With the old round poles, after the sign had been put on it, that sign would often twist around in the wind. But this clever structure of the square pole has holes in it to let the wind pass through and keeps the